What is up, everybody? We are back for a little Warfight action.
Yeah, we got the much anticipated matchup between Donde and Coles. Loser leaves town. So, as I understand it, the bans are already in,
Oh, geez, nice.
and the players are chomping at the bit to dive into the action.
Well,
So,
real quick,
go
let's
ahead.
run through their. Do you want to run through their lineups real fast?
You can take it away.
All right. So we have Donde bringing Demon Hunter, Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior versus Cole's Druid, Mage, Paladin, and Warrior.
Absolutely. And what we have is Donde's Hunter is banned and Cole's Warrior is banned.
Wow. All right, hold on.
Yeah, very, very interesting. A lot of times you expect to see a double Warrior ban. Warrior's been banned about 43 times just last week.
Yeah.
But Cole's going with a little bit of a different strategy, banning the Hunter. He brought some interesting classes with Druid, Mage, Paladin as well. So interesting to see if that strategy is going to pay off for him.
Definitely.
And should we give the players the go-ahead?
Yeah, give me 1 second here. You can tell them to queue up. All right, and for everybody at home, it will be Coles on the bottom and Donde on the top, I do believe. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, so let them know.
Yep, so players are informed. We should be underway shortly. Just before we get started, what do you think we're going to see as a leadoff here?
I don't know.
Personally, I expect a Demon Hunter lead from Donde. From Coles, I would think with the Hunter ban, he might be leaning Druid lead. So we'll see. We'll see what they go with.
Yeah. Again, interesting.
And
seeing
Coles does lead with Druid, but Donde with the Rogue right off the bat.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel great going right into the most unfavorable matchup for Rogue.
It does not. Let me get into spectate here.
All right, and what we can see here is Donde does have the aggressive start that he is looking for as a rogue with the Spy Mistress, the card draw with the Sages, a Shadow Step for more card draw, and Cole's not holding ramp yet. So not what Druid wants to see yet, but usually Druid feels pretty comfortable in this matchup, and it will really depend on how much pressure Donde can apply before Cole's hits his power turns.
Also, just to mention, Sage had to make a phone call. He will be back with us in a second.
Absolutely. He'll join us shortly. Also, taking a look at this hand for Coles here, we see the Emerald Explorer being picked up, so we know that he's going with the Dragon hybrid version of Spell Druid instead of the more heavy spell one.
Yeah, also something very important I need to do. Donde's playing Rogue, so you know what that means. The Witchy Lackey counter is on.
That's right. The my prediction is 7 Witchy Lackeys.
Wow, that is
a bit bold. May not see that happen, especially against a Druid. I was sort of expecting a different class for Rogue to counter that would have an easier time of drawing that many lackeys.
Yeah. Donde pushing the face there.
And yeah, Donde having basically the start he wants.
Yeah.
You know, play the Sage, play the other Sage, draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
It's too bad Sage wasn't here to join us to see Sage getting played 2 turns in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, you played double Sage, really not too much like of a good reason to keep it stealth. I mean, I guess maybe just to keep it alive, but I think you don't really.
And an easy turn for Coles here, using the Bog Beam to clear up the 3/3 here. Choosing to hold back the Moonfire, and very interesting, we see a Starfall in Cole's hand, not a common inclusion in the Druid list.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Lackey Generation.
Here we go. Does that Miscreant give him 2 Witchies right off the top?
We can only hope.
Donde facing a lot of interesting decisions at this point. There's not a great way to charge up the Edwin or the questing right now. He's missing a crucial piece, which would be another 1-mana card. Although he could always play the Edwin and step the Edwin, some other options. May just want to play the Miscreant here for lackey value.
I think he might. No, he just went for a 6/6 Evelyn. I think that's decent enough tempo against the Druid here.
And yeah, early pressure is important with the Druid lacking a lot of ways to deal with things. And we see the Starfall actually coming in handy here.
Yeah.
Comboed with the Moonfire, clears up the 6/6.
Also,
And Coles buys himself another turn without taking massive damage.
the decision to hold the Moonfire last turn and not use it on the 3/1 paid off big.
It definitely did.
Though Coles is running low on stuff in his hand, of course he does have that overflow to refill. But Donde's going to be able to put a
Overflow
lot of
and
pressure.
Ysera are definitely cards you want to see as a Druid. He's really just missing the ramp, which is a big element.
Biggest issue is that if Donde continues to pressure him and Coles has to spend an entire turn healing 5 and drawing 5, that could be deadly.
And Donde, seeing one answer for Edwin, goes ahead and throws out Edwin Jr., and Coles with a swipe off the top to clear up the questing adventurer. Very good draw here for Coles. And Donde still trying to find a way to push that pressure further.
I wonder if we just see him slam Kronks here to get the Galakrond online next turn.
Quite a bit of lackey generation options. He's invoked 0 times so far.
That is very painful for him.
So Kronks doesn't feel great. It is a decent tempo play as a 6/6. There's also options for a shield together with a lackey, which puts close to the same amount of power on the board. Skyvateer Miscreant is an option. Often with Rogue, there's so many things that you can do that it's difficult to try to assess all the decisions that can be made. This looks like a Miscreant turn. we're 0 for 1 on the Witchy Lackey counter.
Here we go. Has to be a few here, right?
And
no.
Wow. Look at Donde coming in with no Witchy Lackeys through 3 lackey generators. And probably I was thinking probably the Tyrant, but Donde's going for the high roll. Taking the Alex.
That has to be Eviscerate there.
And Eviscerate, definitely an excellent card. He wants to push damage. It fits with the game plan. Coles with Ramp off the top. It would enable Ysera to be dropped next turn along with the taunt if he so chooses.
Biggest issue is he just has no follow-up for it here.
Welcome back, Sage. We're in the middle of Donde versus Coles. You already missed 2 Sages being played. It was disappointing that you weren't here for that.
Oh, man.
Also, Donde
they were here because I wasn't.
And Donde is 0 for 3 on Witchy Lackeys.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody can believe that.
Unprecedented.
Bad draw. He's going to have to heal power pass on this turn.
Yeah, not the draw that Coles wanted to see, I'm sure, but this does set up the Ysera taunt play.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's not a ton of pressure on the board at the moment, so he's got time.
And Donde picking up a Waste Warden off the top. Very likely an inclusion to combat some of the more aggressive things that, interestingly, are not really featured in Coles' classes. I guess it's possible that was an inclusion for Paladin, for Murlocs?
Yeah.
Might just be a standard inclusion in Donde's list that he did not adjust for this matchup as well, though.
Yeah, there's a chance there as well. I mean, I've seen it be very good against the Glowblast Warmblood.
Yeah, and Donde choosing to get the second Invoke online. We may see the Kronks come down with a plan to play Galakrond for 2 shortly. He's holding the other Invoke, so he's 1 off. On Cole's side, 9 mana, Ysera and Ironbark. Come on, were we ever seeing a play other than this?
Yeah, that was a pretty standardized play.
No, he's going to have a little bit of trouble getting through it.
Yeah.
That is a 15 health taunt.
That is a lot of resources he's going to have to pour into that.
I'm sure Donde would have been happy with a flick, but as we can see, he's not holding that. He does have a number of options with 8 damage from Eviscerates alone, a Goblin Lackey to rush in something, like even, for instance, a Kronks. Hard to say what the line
He's
Donde
gonna
will
start
take
out with the
is.
Seal Fate.
Seal Fate, get that other Invoke. See what
All right.
lackey you find.
Are we even watching Donde play right now? I don't believe this is
Yeah,
Donde.
that's yet another miss on a Witchy Lackey. To Donde's delight, I'm sure.
Yeah, he hates those things.
And I imagine we're going to see an Eviscerate get played
would
along with the
imagine.
Lackey trade.
Oh,
And he pushes 5 face, maybe develops another Lackey or possibly a Spy Mistress for the power.
You could consider trading the. Whoa. It's not what I
Very
expected.
surprising. He's holding the Eviscerates for the burst.
Interesting.
I can see that as a line that he's taking to try to play around the healing that Druid is capable of.
Definitely.
Oh.
There's
Just going to use them for either removal or burst. And we see the rope start, so we know Nozdormu's a coming.
Woo.
And that's going to be trouble for Donde holding that Togwaggle.
Nozdormu is trouble for everybody.
Yeah. You probably wanted to go off with the Togwaggle this turn. So we'll not have that option.
And
so, I mean, I guess they
Donde is very familiar with having opponents get Nozdormu.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And he's just going to play the Togwaggle now. Does he elect to do anything about the Noz, or is he just going to push face? He's holding 3 Eviscerate, so he's just looking for the damage.
He missed the dagger swing. But he
misses the hero power there. Just in a hurry.
Koi and Wrath here.
As is every player in a hurry right now, with no way for Nozdormu to die. Both players with headaches.
Alright, so how much damage can Donde push here? That is...
And Coles does not miss the Iron Bark, which is huge. And now Donde needs to decide fast how to deal with this 5-15 taunt.
I would generally say that it's a much bigger advantage for the Druid here because the Rogue just generally wants to do more in their turn.
Those animations are going to take some time.
Yep. Oh, he's ripping the wand. Oh, no. Is he going to burn a card?
He is going to burn a card. He's going to float some mana.
He's trying to just put him low so he can burn him down.
Yes, he is.
He's 1 off lethal right now. He needs to, I think, go... backstab, eviscerate.
And Cole's with the opportunity to push damage right back, put some big taunts in the way, knows that he's going to get the pressure there for lethal.
Donde does have the opportunity to find 2 lackeys here, and if one of those is a shoe lackey, that's game over.
It's true.
Alright, this is where the Wedgie lackeys come out.
No. No.
That's a lot of lackeys, but he needs to move here.
Come on.
He's going to go backstab, look for the lethal.
One time.
And if he finds a shoot lackey, it's over. And there it is. And Donde, as long as his APM is good enough, which looks like it is, he's going to pick up a victory over Coles here in Game 1. The Rogue taking the unfavorable as Nozdormu shenanigans just make every player scramble for strategies on a 15-second timer. Very well done by Donde. And the Rogue is going to survive, and since this is Hero Series, Rogue stays up, and the Druid for Coles is eliminated.
All right, good news. We have more opportunities to find what you like.
Donde with a full offer on the Witchy Lackeys.
Yeah.
Not a single one generated. A surprise, but a welcome one, to be sure, from Donde.
Yo, big shout out, Ample, Twitch Prime sub 18 months. That's insane.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Ample.
Here we see Coles with the counter queue with the mage.
All right, so mage into rogue. This one very close. stats-wise lineup, very different from the Rogue versus Druid. And in Hero Series, it is massive if you can win an unfavorable, like Donde just did in the game 1 against the Druid. And now Rogue is about 50-50 into Mage. This is probably one of the more RNG-heavy matchups that we'll see.
Absolutely, and a lot of the times, winning an unfavorable is just the end of the series right there. Coles is going to have to fight back. However, this is a very nice curve he has, which is something you don't often say about a Highlander mage.
True. Yeah, he's able to drop a Solarian on 2. He can play a Mana Saber and ramp into the Power of Creation without too much trouble with the coin.
Gets
And
to use
Donde in reverse, picking up a good curve as well. Even a consideration for Coles possibly to ping his own face to play around the Seal Fate that Donde's telegraphing. But holding the Solarian seems likely that he would just play the stats on curve play that also puts a strong minion in his deck, and that's what he decides.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get that shuffled into your deck ASAP. We'll see the Sage draw for Donde, but no stealth in sight.
And Donde with the Seal Fate, that's as good a Seal Fate target as any. He's just going to progress on his way to invoking Galakron. Holding 2 other invokes means he's only 1 off of a full invoke, so if he finds a Galakron, Coles could be in some trouble.
Oh, and if Coles can find a dragon to go along with that, that's just going to help improve his curve.
Absolutely. We've got some great decisions to follow. Questing Adventurer with a Shadow Step pickup. Very likely that Donde would test for a Flame Ward here before doing anything.
Yeah, I would think so.
I wonder.
The consideration might be that both minions would die with a Flame Ward, but he has the Reborn, so he'd be able to bounce them anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like these are small enough minions that you really don't care that much.
It seems reasonable that he may just want to throw out the Questing Adventurer now and shoot it up a few times with the ability to play Praise Galakron and Shadow Step.
I agree with that, definitely. No, yeah, you can also get another Reborn minion in your hand. Seems pretty good.
And it looks like this is the line Donde is taking here. He's going to Praise on the Reborn minion. I expect we'll see a Shadow Step on the cat and play the cat. No, he's going to hold it. He believes the 3/3 is good enough for now. And an Ice Barrier pickup from Coles. This is not a Highlander deck.
What? Hold on.
Wait, what?
Unless that may have been a mistake by Coles and that was supposed to be a second, or that was supposed to be a Flame Ward instead of an Ice Barrier.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the cards look Highlander, but that's 2 Ice Barriers being main deck.
This is weird. What's going on here?
Is this some sort of weird BSM or something?
And Donde, the risk pays off by leaving the Shadow Step back.
Questing.
The Questing is going to have the opportunity to get charged up quite a bit. Does he play the shield? Does he try to play multiple cards to get it as high attack as possible? With the option of Sage and Titanic Lackey, very possible we'd see the Sage and the Taunt Lackey be played on the Sage. Looks like he's considering playing the Taunt Lackey now. It does just give more health to the Questing.
Yeah, I think he just wants to make it as beefy as possible and try to get it out of range of any removal.
Which makes quite a bit of sense when you're playing against a mage, since mage often doesn't have the minions that can just attack right into taunt.
With the rolling fireball pickup, he's going to be able to deal 8 right to it and kill it right now.
Yeah, fireball off the top. That minion is scary enough
take
that
care of the rest of the board.
Yeah, but
it needs to die.
It feels really bad having to trade off your Mana Saber though and have it get no value. I wonder if you might just Frost Nova here and stall a turn.
The danger in that is allowing it to charge up even more.
Yeah, definitely. Just feels so bad trading this 3-5 off with it getting 0 value.
And yeah, just a turn ago, that was a 3-3, and it became a 9-10 taunt, forcing Coles to use his mana ramp card along with the rolling fireball just into one 3-drop minion. And Donde, with all the tempo and pressure here, there's the Witchy Lackey. We knew it was
You
coming.
kind of like Witchy here. He's sitting here mousing over it over and over.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there it is. We kind of like it here, though, because you can play it onto the 4-5 and get...
That's not bad. 4 drops are also pretty good on average,
Yeah.
and a reasonable target to transform the Sage.
Power on the board.
Coles does pick up a dragon, giving him the opportunity potentially to play the Malagos for
Now I think the Frost Nova
spell.
is definitely the
Yeah.
play here, because
Frost Nova.
the board, and it makes Donde totally unable to do anything.
And he's going to play the second barrier, which Donde very likely would be forced to assume is a Flame Ward. And Flame Ward is exceptional against Donde's board right now.
Yeah, Ice Barrier is kind of not as exceptional.
Although with nothing to do but press the dagger and press the button, get a dagger and hit face, he's going to find out
Yeah,
that's actually just an ice barrier.
and I can't see him doing anything else here.
I don't know if there's any play, but
I
dagger
really
hit
wish
face
I could
fast.
see Donde's face right now when he discovers that this is not Highlander.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now Donde has got to be
Yeah.
surprised.
Like, just what is going on? He's going to be at...
And there's the emote. Yeah, we're right there with you, Donde. We were also surprised that this is not a Highlander mage. Every other card appears to be Highlander, so it could have just been an oversight by Coles. Maybe misread the cards, maybe accidentally double-clicked on the secrets and thought he had 2 individual ones.
Yeah. Biggest question that will answer that is, like, we haven't seen any DQA, we haven't seen Reno, Zeph, anything, so who knows? Until we see one of those, we can't say for sure.
The way this game is going, we might not ever see them.
No. Coin power
We'll have to
creation.
remain in the dark.
Coin power creation could be a big tempo swing for Coles here, but he kind of needs a taunt.
I mean, he's staring down the barrel of 15 damage being represented by Donde's board at the moment.
He's only at 20 himself. Looks like he's
And
gonna go with
staring
Yeah,
down the barrel of
just
a
choosing to just choosing to play defensive here by playing the defender, and that's not going to help that much.
I would assume we're going to see a laid off CF8 here.
Absolutely, it's the only card that's even playable with Donde being board locked. The alternative would be to trade in a minion and play Flick or play Pharaoh Cat. Neither one feels nearly as good as just pushing damage on that minion to make it even easier for a trade and getting your Galakron full invoked. So whenever he draws it, he's going to have a 5/2 weapon and 4 0-mana cards.
Ethereal gives him...
He may just take the
Wax?
Candle Breath to look for the damage.
Waxmancy might also be good here. He could pick up...
Yeah.
Yeah, and Waxmancy is frequently good. He can find something strong.
You were saying about something
Just
strong?
abusive?
Well, a Sergeant costs 0 and can push damage, so it's fine considering the other 2 options were hot garbage.
Only the hottest of garbage.
And Donde just going to push all the damage he can on the board, dagger up again, and pass. No reason to play the Pharaoh Cat and board lock himself again to another potential freeze effect. Big pickup for Coles. That could find something that can help him out here.
That Arcane Breath could even be another Arcane Breath. Who knows?
Nicely put.
Oh,
And
that's a snap pick.
that's a Flame Strike. What a pickup. Clearing up the whole board, except for the Reborn that comes back with no buff, just a 1/1 that buffs another minion when it dies.
Here comes the Paracut. He's looking for something beefy here. Yep, that's what he wanted.
The Micro Mummy is at least
Well,
annoying.
he does have the Colossus for next turn,
Yeah,
and that's going to be good and beefy. If
True.
Coles can pick up Reno or something to remove it, then he'll be in good shape. But that Colossus could be a lot of trouble for Coles here.
definitely. And again, it's so questionable if he even has Reno in the stack, as we saw the do.
Yeah, you
Right.
can pick up the polymorph off the one guy.
Yeah, the
The
Malagos.
Malagos, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
But Dande, with very
that'd be his
little
best answer
power
right now.
that he can put on the board right now, makes this a pretty safe turn to play either Power of Creation or Malagos.
I wonder.
And yeah, I thought maybe Dande would hold that back, but it makes sense given how close he is to, finishing Coles off here, that he just push that extra 2 damage and get a 1/1 on the board.
Don't mind a defensive Alex here. Oh, Pilgrim in the box. Come on, do it.
Love to see
Do
the
it.
box.
Do the box.
And
Come on, Coles.
yeah,
Come on.
the
Come on,
people
baby.
want
Do
to
it, Coles.
see it, Coles. We are sending you our energy. The Pilgrim can find that spell in your deck, and the people want to know what's in the box.
Do it, Coles. Come on.
What's in the box? Oh, I wait with bated breath.
As Anfal commented in chat earlier in this game, Dande needs to watch out for that puzzle box pyro lethal
Very true.
that Anfal got burned on just recently on stream. And here we go. Here's Pilgrim. And
There it
there's the
is.
box.
There it
Coles,
is.
what's in the box?
Oh boy. Hellfire? That's...
Hellfire to lead. Well, that takes Coles down to 6th.
Yeah.
We do have a full
Clears
board
the board.
clear.
Oh,
Evocation.
A fireball
Probably...
goes
Oh no.
Fireball,
Oh no.
and kills
Oh
Coles.
no.
and
Hold on.
And this game is over. Sometimes Yogg giveth, and sometimes Yogg taketh away.
I mean, I guess he technically could have healed himself at the end there, but...
I think once the box lethals you, you're done. Even if you find healing afterwards, like you can heal up to, you can have multiple heal cards already played, but once you drop to 0, the game's already over.
That's going to
So
be
another big
one.
win for Dande, and the Rogue picking up win number 2, and now Dande has the 2-0 lead.
Also, as Dande just DM'd me, THL equals trolled on stream, apparently.
Yeah.
So now we've got the Rogue versus the Paladin. I assume a pure Paladin by the contents of
looks
Cole's
like it.
hand so far.
Pretty sure that's Highlander.
The best deck in Standard.
Easy.
There can only be one. I mean, in all fairness, Finley is a really good card.
Yeah, I mean, well, not always. There are a lot of times when you need 1 damage to kill your priest opponent, and it whips 3 times. I'm not salty about that still.
Nope. No bad memories here.
Nope. Also, I'm sorry to disappoint everybody, but we see that Libram of Justice pickup. That means there's a dupe. That means it's not Highlander.
And
Yep.
I mean, the other dead giveaway is Lightforge Zealot.
Nah, that's not important.
always run in pure Highlander Paladin, right?
Easy.
And we see Dande
DQA
here
is overrated anyways.
so far through 2 games, 1 Witchy Lackey on the counter. And do we see a coin miscreant? Are we going to get some more
No, man.
Witchy
I wanna see
Lackeys?
the Skyvateer
The Skyvateer into the Sage is
Yeah.
also a very strong play
Wow.
that has a lot of merit.
Color me shocked. Sage wants to see the Sage.
Yeah, and it's on curve. It's a good play.
You tell him, Sage. Sage is rooting for Sage.
I am. Oh, whatever, Dande.
But Dande wants the people to see the Witchy Lackeys, and what do we get? No Witchy Lackeys. Dande is on fire tonight.
I feel like you're getting to the point where he almost might want to let you Witchy Lack you too.
Another miscreant off the top. Well, fortunately, there are chances for Witchy Lackeys. If Dande is fully committed to this meme, he would immediately shadow step his miscreant to play another miscreant, to set up another miscreant, and Witchies for days.
However, I think Dande would rather have the win here.
More likely, he's going to go the competitive route. and not Shadow Step his Miscreant on this turn.
I think Dagger is actually okay here.
Very possible, but he's also holding 3 0-mana cards that all generate a very reasonable amount of value in Praise, Faceless, and Titanic. Could have been a consideration. He agrees on the Dagger. He wants to develop that weapon, clear a minion. Do we see the taunt?
We do see the front.
And Coles is looking at a 4 health minion, and he's got 4 mana and a 4 mana minion that gives him a 4 attack weapon. Easy turn.
Seems pretty good to me. I don't know about you guys.
Yep.
All right, back on Donde's side. All right, Donde, you know everybody wants to see it. Play that Miscreant again. Get some witchy lackeys.
Oh, more lackeys!
Oh my goodness!
More lackeys!
A lackey generator off of the Faceless Lackey. Still
What is
no
happening?
witchy lackeys. Astounding. Donde made some kind of deal with the devil before this match here, clearly.
Yeah.
And on Cole's side, just with the chance to find a random dragon, those are some pretty good ones that are offered, at least in Alex.
Oh my god, that is so good for the Highlander Pure Paladin. Easy DQA.
Anixia could possibly be good. He's going with just the Bronze Herald, the one that is more immediately playable. And now, with the health total shifting, Coles appears to be shifting to aggressive mode. He's going to clear a minion, though.
Still no witchy. Oh, I want to see some sages come down this turn. Come on.
I mean, I don't know if a 10-card hand is reasonable to play a stealth and a draw 2. That would just put you right back up to 10.
I guess. I mean, you have
Sage is rooting for Sage, though. Very reasonable. We could see either Shield developed or obviously just going with Lackeys to search for value. Waxadred's a good one. Fairy Dragon is cheap. Mally, unlikely to be that strong here. Going with the Waxadred. And should have some pretty easy ways to deal with this 4-2, like rushing in the Lackey he just played. Looks like that's the primary plan. Does he play a Sage as a tempo 3-3? He's going to hold it back. Probably Dagger again?
Take the Fairy Dragon. You can play it immediately. Come on!
Alright, just going to clear off a minion and push some face damage. Ignoring the lifesteal minion, that of course will help Coles get his life total back up to what he lost. Coles, the Bronze Herald pick, paying off, since it's a minion he can actually play, compared to the others that, well, he could have played the dragons, but he'd miss out on some heal value, which it appears he's holding it for. And Donde, once again, as often happens in rogue games, with an embarrassment of riches in his hand. So many choices. Gonna lead with more invokes, more lackeys. Is it a witchy? More lackeys. Is it a witchy? Donde just completely on fire. Not a single witchy lackey in this game. Only one through 3 games.
I feel a little ripped off. I was promised a lot more witchy lackeys.
We've been lied to.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure, Donde, if you're like locked up in a closet somewhere and someone else is playing for you, I'm gonna contact Kat immediately.
That's right. We gotta let him know.
Yeah.
And yep, still just jamming the lackeys, finding more value. That one definitely a good one there with card draw. Donde has all of the board control, but you see Coles taking basically no damage. And Donde just generating value card after value card, but not really pushing much, just controlling the board and working his way towards a fully invoked Galakrond.
Biggest issue for Donde is Coles also has a lot of value in his hand, with Lady Leadrin and the Light Forge.
And tons of healing,
Yeah.
with 16 represented by the 2 Amber Watchers alone.
Plus, if his board gets too out of hand, he has
that
Labor.
backstab
Very
was
good
a
top
good
deck.
pickup.
Yeah, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
backstab to easily clear the Lightforge Zealot. Do we see a Wrapped Golem get played? Do we see a Waxadred?
Wax Dread. Yeah. Yeah, the Wax Dread is just like never-ending.
Maybe at
value.
this
Just
point.
keep coming
Okay, now that Donde has finally cleared some cards out of his hand, this looks like the setup to draw some with Sage. Sage, I think you'll get your wish.
Just
You
double
can,
Bronze Dragon.
Yeah, Coles is just gonna try to go as wide as he can. He's a little bit big and tall right now.
Yeah, we got 2 reasonably beefy dragons on the board,
Ooh.
contesting fairly well. Not to the Waxadred, but the rest of the board would have a hard time. We see a Questing, and a Sage, and a Shadow Step.
Donde can also
Donde
just push
has
12 here.
options.
I think that's very legitimate. Set him to 9.
Give me a
You have a big board.
Yeah,
There
and
we
Donde
go.
wants to lead with the ability to charge up the Questing. If he's going that route, he
Oh,
likely plans
there's
on trading.
Galakrond.
Yeah, and that is holding that Shadow Step. Just one Shadow Step is enough to play a shield and step it and play it again for a full invoked Galakrond if he chooses.
Yep.
Donde just going for even more card draw here.
Wow.
I love it. Ooh, that's so good.
This man has all of the value. And that's gonna give Donde a full hand here. Now he'd need to dump something. Just gonna get cards out of his hand and charge up the Questing Adventure slightly more.
Wait. Did he? Alright. I was gonna say, he better have played that.
Yeah, it looks like he almost didn't get that off, but at the
Yeah.
last moment, played the Sage again. That's 17 damage represented on board, with Cole sitting at
3
2.
Sages in a turn. Hmm.
and Sage celebrates as we had a Sage turn.
See the outdoor attendant in the hand.
Sage
Very
goes
good card.
everywhere.
However,
Interesting
I mean,
options here.
only one Lieberman in hand for the payoff for it, but, you know, it affects all Liebermans for the rest of the game, so could definitely get more.
Looked like Coles was considering the Libram of Justice. And he can always drop the Aldor first and play it. He knows that the Questing Adventure gets even more out of control if he doesn't deal with it, as he learned from the Mage game when it was a 3-3 and became a 9-10. Gonna look for a dragon first. Not great choices. Going with probably the strongest objectively for flexibility. And once again, Coles ignores the Questing Adventurer on the board, with Donde holding a 10-card hand and a 7/7 Questing Adventurer already on the board. That may burn him, because Donde's currently 11 off lethal.
Yeah.
2 Seal Fates is enough to fully invoke Galakrond as well.
What's the lackey?
Looks to be Donde's
Oh!
plan. There's the Witchy Lackey. We are at 2 on the night
Will we see a third?
with all of this Lackey generation.
Nope. Sorry, I got a little too greedy there asking for a third, I guess. Deadly Poison, that could be some burst.
That is
Yeah,
burst.
Deadly Poison is quite strong, especially with the Galakrond weapon. Now Donde probably just wants to get cards out of his hand, but he doesn't really have a way to do it, since most of his cards generate more cards.
That's a nice evolve.
That's an excellent evolve, and Pharaoh Cat's going to make that Questing Adventure a 12/12. Donde is going to clear off the minion, so Coles has a harder time with a Libra of Justice. Cole's probably praying for a consecration, which he does not find.
I think he might just have to tank the 12 here and then heal himself with the Amber Watcher.
Go down to 1 and heal up to 9.
I don't see any better play other than hoping for some RNG off of the Light Forge.
With 6 damage on board and knowing that Donde has already full invoked Galakron with 13 cards left in his deck and about to be 12 cards in his deck and a 10-card hand when he draws off the top. But it looks like this is over. It looks like this is going to be a 3-0 for Donde. I don't see a way out for Coles.
So Light Forge into Humility? Even then, I think you're dead. Light Forge plus Humility and get down.
Right, because Humility would just take the questing to a 1 attack, but any card that Donde plays just gives it more attack again.
That's not it.
And that's going to do it.
GG.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your brooms out.
So a quick series. Donde taking a dominant win. And yep, he is going to choose to flex on him with the Galakron to play there. Burn a bunch of cards, get exact lethal with the +1/+1 to questing adventure, and down goes Coles.
Gotta love it.
As I understand it, Coles, it's time to leave town. Congratulations to Donde.
I called this. I knew Donde was going to win.
Yeah, you called it. Good call, for sure. Donde just played exceptionally well throughout. I think Coles had some questionable classes that he brought. And as we said at the beginning, winning the unfavorable for Donde is a massive development that oftentimes swings the entire series. With the Rogue usually expected to lose to the Druid. Once the Druid went down, Coles was pretty much on the back foot trying to keep up with all this value from the Rogue and just couldn't do it.
We're going to be getting Donde in here in a second.
Oh,
for an interview.
Fantastic. Hey, welcome, Donde. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Have you told Coles to pack up and leave yet?
No, I'm not a rub the salt in the wound kind of guy. I mean, I guess with him maybe I am, but no. He was I'm sure upset after the way some of those games kind of played out.
All right, so I think
that game 1 was insane. Do you have any comments on game 1? What were you thinking as Doom came down?
I was thinking, how the hell do I make these turns happen fast enough? Because I don't really have a way to kill that without sacrificing everything game plan wise. I'm just gonna have to play Speedstone basically.
Yeah, it was fascinating at the end that it
worked out.
It was honestly shoot lackey or die, and that turned into a 3-0. That miscreant finding a shoot lackey. If it didn't find a shoot lackey, who knows? Maybe Coles wins the
series. You
might
have lost if you didn't find it. Yeah.
I had literally no alternative game plan going into that turn. Because I knew I had 15-20 seconds or so with the rope, so I'm like, all right, backstab the first available thing, and then just roll the miscreant and hope that I hit what I need to hit, and then hope that I can just play all the cards fast enough and not mistarget something.
Yeah, I think that was the correct line that you took, and it was interesting to say the least. The Nozdormu shenanigans. We were commenting on how this has become a theme for you in some of your matchups. You keep having to run into
taken over from the witches.
Yeah,
that's 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Like, where were the witches? I had the counter all set up and everything.
Showed up the second game, yeah.
Yeah, what deal with the devil did you make? You had a ton of lackey generation, and we saw 2 witchy lackeys through 3 games. A grand total of 2.
And they were pretty good spots for them too. Like there was always something worth lackeying, which was nice, or worth witching. Yeah. So that was good. Like it actually was what I wanted, was that amount. I don't know. It just seemed, I guess, when you have enough generation, you get the ones that you want eventually. Which, like, I had the spell for the third eviscerate in game 1, which that whole game plan was not even possible without the random third eviscerate.
that
you
was
were
was
picking those
pretty
witches
exciting
up right
to
when
see
you
the
wanted them.
3 eviscerates.
Well,
Go ahead, Sage.
Yeah, what were you saying, Sage?
I was saying that you were picking those witches up right when you needed them. I see you there, only pulling witches when you want them. Yeah, I see that, man.
Finally. Yeah, that second game though, that was not the box that I expected. You know, like it started out very poor.
That box.
Oh
did not
yeah,
work out.
Yeah,
that that was very unfortunate for
For one of
Coles
us.
there.
for one of them. Yeah,
I was
I
like, yeah, I
figured
really
it'd be
don't want to
there.
have to figure out how to play the rest of this game. So box kind of made that not a thing, which was nice. Just kind of turned off after I saw that spell.
Definitely.
But no, it was a tough series regardless. I mean, every game I felt like was contested. I never felt like secure in any of the 3 games. Obviously, the first game was right down to the wire, but he played well as far as I can tell. I mean, obviously I don't know his cards or anything, but it seemed like he wasn't making any misplays.
Oh, another question. What did you think when you saw the second ice barrier in his mage?
Well, it's not Highlander.
Yeah.
At that point,
every
that's why
other
I
card,
incredible.
I think that it was Highlander, and it was just an accidental inclusion of Ice Barrier. He did
Maybe
draw
purposeful.
a Flame Ward as well near the end of the game when the box was drawing him when he lethaled himself. I
Gotcha.
think that just might have been a mistake because like every other card was Highlander.
Yeah.
But we were excited to see your reaction. You didn't disappoint with the little emote as soon as you punched face and you're like, okay, like no secret's gonna pop. I just have to do it because it's the only play. And then there goes the Ice Barrier.
Yeah, I was considering, obviously if nothing popped there, then I would have to assume Flame Ward. And my thought was, do I seal fate like one of my own lackeys just to keep like, because then if I happen to top deck Gala, then that's my 4th invoke. So I was like, okay, that seems like the right play is to just pop one of my 1/1s that's frozen anyway, because whatever, it's just going to die to a Flame Ward eventually. So just be prepped for a Gala. But once I saw the ice block, I was like, well, that's not, or ice block, ice, yeah, what year is it? Ice barrier. Yeah, that's not what I expected at all. But yeah, that's I mean, it could have just been, honestly, it could have been an inclusion he made. I was actually talking to the other guys in Licensed to Illidan. I was like, he's not afraid to go off meta, and
Yeah.
he's definitely not afraid to tech if he needs to. And he knows me better than anybody, so he's gonna probably have a great idea of the types of decks I'm gonna want to run. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did that on purpose to, say like, I'm going to give myself a better edge against Demon Hunter, obviously. And he left up Warrior too, so he could have been thinking, I just don't want to get random bursted down by Enrage Warrior, Egg Warrior, whatever it happened to be that I brought. You won't know.
Yeah, I think he brought some good counters for everything but Rogue. And then he had the Rogue counter, but once he lost that unfavorable in game 1, like often happens in Hero Series, if you win an unfavorable, it shifts the entire series in your favor. And I think that's what played out here.
Well, I'm happy it went that way. It definitely could have gone another way very easily if the lackeys didn't show up right on time. So I'm thankful for the bless RNG.
That and the questing adventurer carries, right? We actually noticed there were a couple of times where Coles had the option to possibly try to deal with the questing adventurer and left it on board, and even sticking for a single turn. We saw its power as it just charges up so quickly and just sent so much damage.
Yeah, it's almost like a soft taunt. It has to really be dealt with, or kind of, you see that in a lot of classes, a lot of decks too. Like Satyr Overseer, you never want to let that thing live, 2 turns if you can avoid it. It's basically a 4/2 taunt. And yeah, I was excited, especially that last game for that one to live. Though I was able to get it up, I think to like 7/7 on the first turn. It was out, so it was pretty hard to deal with unless he had the Libram that nukes everything to 1 health, I think, which I don't know.
He was
Obviously, I don't know if he
actually
did.
holding that. He elected
Really?
not to play it on the 7/7 questing,
Wow.
and it burned him bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. I kind of just expected that to be like a snap play if he had it. And so when he didn't play it within the first 5 seconds of his turn, I was like, well, I guess I'm good to go for a little while with it. And that I would have not guessed that he would have had that in his hand.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows what he was considering at the moment? Maybe he was trying to set up for a consecration draw. Maybe he had other ways of dealing with it in his deck that he thought he was likely to draw and could find as a way to pair it together. But as we could see, he didn't find anything to combo with it other than just having to tank the damage. And tanking 7 is one thing, but tanking 12 would have left him still dead. I
Right.
did like the way you close it out with the Galakron getting the exact lethal on the 13 attack.
I was
questing.
mostly just curious to see what the cards I was going to draw were. Like, that was really my
Well-
motivation behind it.
Well, but you were just going to burn them all. You just wanted to see what are
I
the
just
things
wanted
that
to
get burned.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing poker and the hand's over before the river, and you're just like, let's see what the river was, just because I want to know what it
I like
is.
it.
But
Yeah.
that's kind of what
I
it
like
was.
The spectators appreciate that as well. All information is good information.
Definitely.
Yeah, I guess I could have given away some secret text, but then again, I played that deck for 3 games, so you probably saw all 30 cards at some point.
Probably.
All
Well,
right.
I know you guys
Any
have
last
more games,
comments,
but-
Donde? Any last shout outs?
I mean, shout out to Cole's, obviously. Still best friends no matter what happens. Maybe he disagrees. I haven't spoken to him after the GGs went out, so we'll see if he responds to my texts. But other than that, shout out to everybody else on License to Illidan. I know we're not going to make the playoffs or anything this season, most likely, but I do appreciate the guys that are showing up every week, playing hard, and even if we don't make the playoffs, I'm proud of what we did. It's a tough series, and it's tough to even hang in there with some of these teams because everybody's so strong.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just want to say I believed in you, Donde. I did.
Thank you, Sage. I was listening. I know you did.
All right.
2 weeks in a row, you
those are
believed
good
in me.
games. Yeah, and you brought it home last week.
So keep believing in me. I appreciate it.
Oh, we'll do.
Good luck on the
You
next
just
game,
keep
guys.
giving me a
Yeah.
reason to believe.
Thank you so much for
For
playing,
sure.
Donde.
Thank you. Yeah, we
Anytime.
appreciate you coming on.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya. All right.
All right. So what a dominant victory there for Donde there. Destruction of Coles. I mean, I'm sure it was aided in some way by a puzzle box that went the wrong way and a extra eviscerate out of nowhere. But he played it very well throughout, and I think he deserved that victory there.
100%.
Oh yeah. That Nosdormu made things real sticky. I believe up next we've got Skittles versus Starlax. I'm trying to get Skittles battle tag right now. And
We do, yes. So the players are just about getting ready to challenge up and ban, as I understand it.
Yeah.
They should be ready to go shortly. So before we get into that, what do we think of the lineups and what the possible bans might be?
Yeah, so what we have Skittles bringing the Demon Hunter, Priest, and Warrior versus Starlax bringing the Demon Hunter, Mage, Warrior. So the Mage versus Priest is the big difference here.
Absolutely. I mean, given the trend in Hero, right, it's never surprising to just see a double Warrior ban. I would absolutely anticipate that Starlax bans Warrior, and I think Skittles maybe does. The presence of Priest is the only reason I could consider maybe he would ban something else, like possibly Hunter.
I could see that, definitely.
What do you think, Sage? Or Sage is on
I
mute,
think
actually.
I'm eating more ice cream.
Sage has his priorities. We gotta appreciate that. If I had ice cream, I would be eating it right now too.
Yeah, I could definitely see. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what the bans end up being.
Yeah, because Skittles, I mean, he has some pretty good warrior counters with Druid and Priest, but then he's got an absolutely abysmal class into warrior with Demon Hunter. And on Starlax's side, Mage implies that you might see Bomb Warrior on the other side, which could be miserable. Hunter does just about average against Warrior, and Starlax also has Demon Hunter, which doesn't want to play Warrior. So I think Starlax bans Warrior probably 99% of the time. Skittles, what would he ban if he doesn't ban Warrior? Are we thinking maybe Hunter to try to protect Priest a little bit more? Do we ever ban Demon Hunter, anticipating a Warrior ban and thinking it's still a extremely strong class that has great percentages against Druid and Priest?
Well, good news is I have the answers to all those questions.
All right, let's hear them.
Starlax is banning Skittles as Demon Hunter.
Interesting.
And Skittles is banning Starlax as Hunter.
No Warriors get banned.
Nope.
Well, I am very surprised at that, but this will be exciting to see. For those of you Warrior fans, correction, for the Warrior fan out there, C-Mac, I don't know if you're watching, but we do actually have a strong possibility of multiple Warrior games being played.
I mean, we're guaranteed to see at least one.
Yeah, this should be an interesting match. I'm excited to see the bands went the way they did, and I guess we can tell the players to get underway.
Yeah. That's what I was just about to do.
Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
All right. And definitely a pivotal match for both players here, too. Skittles, of course, trying to pick up more victories for NPH to get themselves further into that playoff position. And Dad Legend coming off of a rough loss to Young Guns, trying to get back into the thick of it for the match, so for their playoff chances. So this is going to be really important. Maybe a bit more for Starlax than for Skittles, but both players really want this win.
Definitely. It's like they're just about to get in. So for all of you watching at home, Starlax will be on the bottom, Skittles on the top.
And as always, as always, Sage is going to flip the perspective to get a little bit of a different perspective to help us with the casting. And for everyone out there watching, if you've been following along at any part of this, you should already know this is the Hero Series. That's what we do on Tuesday night bar fights. It means when you have a class that wins, it stays up. If you have a class that loses, it gets eliminated. And the order of the queues is extremely important. So with these bans, it's going to be very interesting to see what these players decide to lead off with.
Definitely. We're going to see the Starlax Demon Hunter lead versus the Skittles Warrior lead. And
all right, and that heavily favors Skittles, obviously. Having strong percentages against Demon Hunter. And as we commented in Donde's match, if Starlax is able to get the win, this could be something that swings everything.
Definitely. But a very strong hand from Skittles. We will see he does tech in the Wrench Caliber. So he is... Actually, it looks like he might just be the straight-up bomb control. Not even the tempo.
Yes, this definitely looks like bomb control with the Quartermaster and the Pillager pickup there.
Oh yeah, this is bomb control. I love this deck. It's so
interesting options for Starlax. Twin Slice, one of the best cards in the deck. Never seems too incorrect to take that off Valpera.
Man, even after making it cost 1, still pretty insane.
Right.
You know, it's kind of sad that he didn't get the Wrench Caliber out first, because that's one of the things that Bomb Control likes to do, is do the Wrench Caliber first, play the Anchor, and on the last charge of the Anchor, play the Pillager, that way you for sure get the Wrench Caliber back again. But I don't think that's really necessary in this matchup. I think in this one you just want to try to control the board. So we're going to see a lot of that happening right here. I think a Wrench
with a good amount of armor, though, and having not drawn a risky skipper, I do think it makes a lot of sense to jam the Pillager, get the Anchor, and try to draw one of those risky skippers. And there it is. One of the most important cards
for sure now.
I would like to apologize
with the skippers in hand.
Everybody at home, I forgot to switch scenes off the caster scene.
Oh no.
So they missed the beginning of that match.
We'll catch up shortly.
Sorry. No, yeah, but we're in it now. Sorry, guys.
And yeah, it looks like this is just going to be the immediate skipper play with the Armor Smith. He has the ability to gain quite a bit of armor and clear the board. Does he decide to play?
And he has the option to... Yeah, I think he has the option to pick up the other skipper right now. And I think... he's got 2 Horde Pillagers. Now that's unusual.
Wow.
He loves those weapons. And we're going to see
Yeah,
just a
Skittles has weapons for days.
pretty sizable, what is it, board here.
Yep, and on Starlax's side, naturally wants to kill the armor smith first.
Yep.
Skipper, also a priority target. Has the ability to hero power and kill the last minion. And get yet another 2-2. Skittles, that's
Unfortunately for Starlax here, Skittles has an excellent clear with a Blade Storm pickup. I think you just Blade Storm hero power here if you're Skittles. Oh, yeah.
And of course, playing the one right off the top, not letting Starlax know that he already had a Blade Storm in hand. As often players do, if you have 2 cards, you play the one most recently drawn for max
Absolutely.
tilt, if possible.
Especially if it was a top deck.
Starlax,
Absolutely.
card draw and damage, and we see he still got quite a lot of burst that he can send Skittles' way. Gonna ignore the minions completely, keep as many
Interesting.
charges as possible.
I guess he's just going to try to burn him down. I mean, there's no real threat of armor gain right now, so all Skittles can really do is just try to push base damage himself as well.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty decent plan here. I think the Wrench Caliber is a good play from Skittles at this juncture.
Right, appeared to be debating on whether or not to play the Horde Pillager for yet another anchor to draw the other skipper, or just get this weapon active. I like this play from Skittles here, just pushing the damage right back, you know, letting Starlax know that he really doesn't have much of a clock to try to find a win before the inevitability of the bombs and damage on board gets there.
So this is going to be a very nice board freeze here. And removes the 1/3.
Double freeze. Freezes the highest attack minion. Freezes face.
So-
Deny bombs.
It's good that he played the 2-2, because that Blade Storm would have been really good to play behind the Sword board if he hadn't.
Absolutely. And now Skittles has to hope that the Brawl works in his favor, and does it ever. He had some options behind. Obviously, he could have played a Shield Slam if a 3 health minion lived. Sword and Board if a 2 health minion lived. But definitely the desired outcome for Skittles there.
What if we just see another Twin Slice? Yes, we
Yet
do.
another Twin Slice. That's a lot of damage burst.
That is, how much damage is that? That's 4, 8, 12, 15 damage.
Starlax
out
is
of
showing
nowhere.
him where
Yeah,
the play
Starlax
is.
is
He's
just
looking
gonna
to close
go for
out
it now.
now. He is.
Knows that he can send a little bit more with Metamorphosis, and just daring Skittles to gain enough armor to get out of range. That's 16 to the face.
This
Or, sorry,
is
15.
ridiculous.
15 because he used all the
Yeah.
mana, so he
He's
couldn't
down
press
to
the button.
6. Metamorphosis is lethal next
The
turn.
Rock Biter is lethal. Wait, no, it's not. He's
And
one off.
wow, there's a claw.
One off.
Claw. I think Claw
He's
is
one off.
the
So
draw
I think
play
what
here.
we'll see from Skittles is max armor gain, where he'd pick the claw and take it, along with sword and boarding his own minion and pressing the button.
Well, I mean, you
Oh
can
my
just
God.
sword and board the other minion.
Oh, my bad. There's a minion on board.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really. Oh, because of the, of course, the shield slam.
And then, plus, this is nice because, yeah, he's going to put him in range of 1 bomb.
And showing why
He's so close.
Warrior is so favored in this matchup. 2 bombs in deck, a single one wins the game for Skittles, and not drawing bombs still
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
really matter. Skittles still wins.
Skittles takes the 1
Metamorphosis
lead.
won't
Yep.
be enough. The armor gain gets there. And Starlax's Demon Hunter is eliminated.
You've been eliminated.
Which, Skittles banned Hunter, correct?
Yes.
So Starlax is down to Mage and Warrior. Skittles is going to stay with his Warrior up, and Starlax feels his best chance is bringing the Warrior Mirror. Since obviously we know Skittles has bombs, which directly
Oh
counter
my
Highlander
God.
Mage.
That's a Galacron.
And that's a Galacron. Fascinating. I have seen a lot of warrior lists that are just bomb control that run Galacron as just a single card without really any invoke payoff cards, which may be what Starlax is going with, or it could actually be a Galacron warrior.
Yeah. We haven't seen any other invokes, so who knows? Skittles fully deciding whether he wants to pass or pass.
Turn 1. Possibility of a disconnect?
I mean, it would pop up, though, because we're in a friendly challenge. It would say waiting for player to reconnect, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he just hero powers
Now
here.
Skittles with an interesting decision to press the button or not to press the button, and to full rope or not to full rope.
I'm saying
Maybe
full rope,
he
no
had to
button.
go pee.
Yeah.
So I guess eat your heart out, C-Mac. This is what you tune in for, right?
Can someone at CMAC in the THL Discord? Oh, no way. This is a bold play. If he went hero power, no rope. I can't believe it.
Okay, and Skittles actually messaged me that his wife's trying to help out Starlax. She just turned on Netflix in the middle of his game, and it changed his TV. So he had to adjust on the fly to scrambling to recover, not just a deliberate rope for no reason.
Sure, that's what he's saying.
a solid recovery, regardless. If that wasn't the case.
Well, Starlax, he's showing Skittles where the place is.
All right, and yep, with that, Corsair Cash buffing the Wrench Caliber, we've got lots of bombs incoming.
Quick shield
Skittles
block.
with a very quick shield block, and Sky Raider proving that he doesn't need to rope when everything is working correctly on his side and there's no interruptions. And now we're moving fast. Corsair Cash on the other side. That's another Wrench Caliber. And more bombs.
We're going to be seeing a lot of bombs.
More face damage, more bombs. Skittles holding a sticky finger that he just generated randomly, mousing over it. Do you think he holds it, or do you think he just plays it now? Because he does know that Starlax just picked up another buffed weapon.
I kind of like just taking the risk here. Though, I mean, you do get kind of punished by a green skin here. If Starlax would happen to run that.
Must burn them.
This is true.
Which is something we see in a few lists. I don't think it's made it to the majority yet, but it is a tech, and a well-known one at that.
Not really a whole lot of things that Skittles gets to do efficiently on this turn, so he may just want to play the sticky finger because it's a tempo 4/4 that also at the same time steals your opponent's weapon, lets you put a bomb in their deck.
Plus, he doesn't have a weapon of his own in the pool yet for the Horde Villager. So
Well, he does. He has the anchor.
Oh, he does? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
That seemed to be the other consideration, and this is a fine play as well. Picking up a pirate, he was all but assured that he would find Skipper, possibly the other Sky Raider, right? It was a 50-50 since he was holding his pillagers. I don't believe he runs a green skin, but I guess we can find out. And Starlax, is he going to play the other wrench?
Just hero power pass.
He does not re-equip it. Playing around weapon removal or steal effect, potentially.
I was going to say, I'm just going to call that a
Starlax,
good
stream
read.
sniping confirmed.
Wait, hold on. Is this delay working? Like...
And Skittles wants to play the Skipper just to not burn a card off of that draw? Or is he going to... Because he'd go back up to full. Okay, no, that draws nothing. I thought we only saw one Sky Raider. Did we see two? Or does he only run one in his deck?
Maybe. Maybe that's what he cut for the other.
And there's the second wrench caliber.
And I'm thinking he's gonna steal this.
No,
This we have to
steal this
expect.
weapon anytime.
Like,
This was what Stick a Finger was being held for.
I'm wondering if that's what he cut for the second hard caliber.
Comes down without a moment's hesitation, takes the weapon, punches face. And now we have one bomb in Starlax's deck. We have many bombs in Skittles' deck.
All right, we're gonna see the anchor.
Weapons for days between these two hunters, or between these two warriors.
All right,
Sorry, that was wishful thinking.
yeah. Why?
All right, and he's going to draw a Sky Raider here.
I just want to know why. Why make that trade? Why push that?
I expect he was trying to draw the Skipper to look for a clear. But that puts him in a very dangerous range with so much damage that Skittles is pushing.
Bomb would
A
do
bomb
it.
off the top just straight up ends the game, and there's two in his 18-card deck that could be game over.
Biggest question is, what's in the box?
Oh, nope.
And
nope.
not a bomb. With the 10-card hand, he's going to want to play something before he swings that weapon. And he should be drawing the Skipper here. And that's going to be a ton of armor gain incoming.
Welcome to Armor City. Population Starlax.
Double Armor Smith here. With a Brute to follow for very cheap. And from 5 health to 19, just like that. But he's not done. Here's the Boar Armor for you.
It's the Raider down.
How do you
Why
like-
the hell not?
How do you like from 5 health to 29 in a single turn?
You know what? I like it a lot.
Skittles with a Brawl. He's going to hope that the Brute dies. He's going to be
It does not.
disappointed. And he's going to be forced to use one of these Blade Storms to kill it. Brawl, Blade Storm, an amazing combo that basically just kills anything. And Starlax knowing, hey, there's tons of bombs in your deck. Here, let me slam down to Blastmaster Boom and get a lot of boom bombs.
Especially after I just saw a Brawl.
And now
And-
Skittles with the tough decision. That 5 health on Starlax's side must be frustrating, seeing the 23 armor beside it.
Yeah. This is the point where you start to question where your life went wrong.
It's funny because their health totals are kind of flipped, right? Like Starlax has 5 with 23, while Skittles has 24 with 7.
Skittle is pulling almost as many Witchy Lackeys as Donde did.
Right.
Hey,
just
look at that.
From very few lackey generators.
Yeah. That's a decent defensive option for Skittles. Here.
Yeah, not bad for Skittles, all things considered.
It'll soak for boom hit, most likely.
Yeah, it should stop one direct hit from the boom, yeah.
Alright, and he's definitely hoping for a wrench caliber here.
Going with another
Actually, Cash, he might just play the
Corsair
other.
Cash.
Just gonna hero power instead of playing the alpha weapon. Interesting.
Considered playing the Horde Pillager, considered playing the weapon.
There's the bomb he
There's a
wanted.
bomb. He's gonna need a few more of those though.
And just a turn or two late for an otherwise would be lethal.
Oh,
There's the Galakron.
Some big pickups for Starlax on his side.
Does he
with
ever
definitely
just
in a
play the
Galakron.
Galakron now?
I think you do. You don't. I mean, like you're board locked. There's not too much else you can do.
That's true.
Seems to be a pretty reasonable time to draw a single minion, gain some armor.
No.
You know, obviously he can trade the boom and trade the boom bot, so he doesn't have to. He could play a brute. He's already seen a brawl come out. He could play one of these Sky Raiders.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like slamming the Galakron here and just having a 7 mana do nothing turn is completely fine here.
Just gonna go with the Sky Raider. Gets the Sky of a tier. And now on Skittles' side, he's got the Armor Smith and the Skipper, but a board full of bombs makes it feel a whole lot worse.
It 100% does.
Instead electing for a Wrench Caliber, is he just still looking to push face damage? Is he considering trying to find a way to clear this 7/6?
He's just gonna push the base. Oh no!
Oh no.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it looked like he was. It looks like we'll see Skipper Armor Smith here. You have to assume
If
both
this
are gonna
does
die.
full clear, he may consider following with a Blade Storm to clear the 7 attack minion. It depends on how much damage he takes, though, and how much danger he feels he's in. That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
And yeah, totally reasonable to use the second of the Blade Storms here to clear off that big minion.
Ooh.
However,
In a direct answer, Starlax says, okay, you want to get rid of big minion with a Blade Storm? Well, here's another massive minion.
This will break your
Need something good off Quartermaster. And that's not quite it.
Auto Rage for 1 always feels good.
And yeah, he's going to have to do it again.
Feels so well, he's doing it twice.
Potentially, he could hold back and just armor and try to stay out of range. And no, he's going to elect to just draw again with it. He does find what he was looking for, although with not enough mana for it to be relevant. Does he play the sword and board now? Just to try to get a little bit more armor to stay out of range of any burst.
I just hold it here. I don't think there's too big of a difference between what would that be.
There's another bomb. And here comes the Galakron.
Yep. What's in the box of a Galakron? That's the biggest question.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a 10-10 Kronks. All right, and Starlax, with no reason to respect the Quartermaster, just going to set Skittles to 8 here. Bombs could just kill him at this point.
So Skittles can push, how much would that be? 10 plus 2 plus 6, 18 damage?
Yeah, we
down to
likely
7?
just see the Shoot Lackey in a brawl.
Yeah.
And this is just pray that you win the brawl. And he's going to lead with the shield block first.
Oh no.
That's
Immediately negated the armor gain with the bomb. And if Deathwing wins, it's over.
1 out of 4?
And
Oh,
Deathwing wins the
no.
brawl. That's going to be game over.
Hold on, is there a bomb out?
I don't think there were 4 bombs that could have been all drawn in succession.
Yeah.
I wasn't tracking them, but even if they were, the possibility of that happening is astronomically low. If it was a possibility, Skittles didn't want to hang around for it
No.
and be disappointed. He's going to get out of here, and Starlax wins the Warrior Mirror.
And I mean, I don't know. Apparently, we are the Trollden hub. So if it was possible, then I think it would have happened.
All right, and now we see the counter. Priest very regularly, over Warrior. So we've got Skittles queuing up Priest next into Starlax's Warrior featuring Galakron. Should be interesting to see how this one plays out. Is this probably just a Galakron Priest? Doesn't look like Highlander. I don't see the likelihood of it being res. Although he is running a Plague of Death, so that's a card you often see in Res Priest. It also might just be a tech inclusion. Starlax with the typical thing Warrior wants to do. Play Cash on 2. Charge up an Anchor. Draw some Pirates.
And this is some thrilling action.
Sorry, I had a quick disconnection problem there. I'm
Hey,
back.
all good. Yeah, Starlax just... Dragon Lackey's a pretty good Lackey in this matchup.
Yeah, that is something that Warrior definitely likes to see more than most other lackeys.
Deathwing,
Those are
come on.
quite good ones. I think against Priest, I often would favor the Alexstrasza over anything else, given their heal potential.
Yeah.
And Starlax agrees. He's going to grab the Alex and hold it for, you know, that chance where he can flip the health from 15 or from 30 to 15. We've got another Corsair cache. Obviously wants to get that online right away. 9 cards in hand. He could draw another pirate. Looks like he wants to hold the weapon swing back, since a swing now would put him at 10 and burn a card. Maybe he plays a Sky Raider here?
Yeah, I think I would.
Just gonna hold that back too.
Interesting.
An imprisoned Vile Fiend.
Interesting card choice.
Yeah, very interesting inclusion in here. And wow, Starlax not even wanting to get that last pirate draw, just wants bombs in deck as early as possible. Hit him in the face. Or has he drawn all his pirates already? On Skittles' side, some good options. Probably still the Shadow Word Death, given how much application it has with things like the Deathwing and
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Blood
too.
Boil Brutes.
What?
But chooses the Embalming Ritual.
Very
Maybe he's
interesting.
running some other different cards that that make that better that we don't know about yet. Starlax still pushing damage, pushing more bombs, and gets enough for Boom to be pretty decent. Skittle's still quite a few turns away from a Plague of Death. Veil Weaver's one of the options that makes sense with Embalming Ritual for sure. With that draw off the top, maybe that would have been the consideration for Skittles to hold it for that. And do we see maybe a Time Rip come down on this Boom?
I like
Yeah,
it.
I'm kind of looking at the time rip on that. I don't know that you want to use the breath. I think you'd want to wait for...
Apotheosis? Apotheosis trade them breath? They're embalming. Embalming the breath. Interesting. See where these bombs go.
Taking a lot of
guess they're all
damage
going
from the
base,
bombs. Very interesting line here he took with the Ritual Breath of the Infinite.
Yeah.
He's going to have that Vile Fiend come back in another 2 turns to help deal with the
I
board.
wonder
But
why you played the Battle Rage there.
in the meantime, theoretically, Skittles could be facing lethal with the triple bomb draw.
Am I missing
Unlikeliness
something?
aside.
Am I missing something why you played the Battle Rage there? It didn't draw
I'm
many.
not really sure. Maybe just because fatigue-wise.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to draw cards quite as
Maybe.
much in this matchup, and just wants to try to find a way to get there with bombs.
So now we can see the Alex come down this turn. It's not quite as good as if he was at 30, but I mean, still an 8/8.
Yeah.
It's a reasonable play. We can see how quickly it would be eaten up by a Shadow Word Death. Actually, even worse, a Psyche Split and then a Shadow Word Death, which is a pretty big punish on the other end. Starlax, I think, wisely just holding it back. There's one out of the 3 bombs in deck.
There's 2.
And there's 2.
Oh my god.
So Skittles 1 bomb away from dying now.
Yo, big shout out to JR Juggernaut. 16 months. Just sub with Twitch Prime.
Wow.
Hey, all right. Thank you very much, JR.
What did we do to deserve this?
I don't know.
All right, so Skittles in a really tough spot here. It looks like, yeah, he's just going to have to pray for a good card and heal face. If he doesn't heal his own face with his last 2 mana, he very likely is just staring down at being dead.
Yeah.
And going to have to trade that 3-1 into a 1-2. Doesn't feel great. That's a Deathwing
good
off
draw.
the top.
Just...
We can see the same play that existed before is still available for Skittles with a Psyche split on the Deathwing, followed by a Shadow Word Death and Healing Face.
Does he have any
He
more
may
bombs
also
in the
just choose
future?
to Time Rip. Still not holding a dragon for Cleric of Scales to be very good.
Yeah, we'll just end up
No,
time
he
And
ripping.
Time Rip gives him a dragon. So now Cleric is active, and that's a Murazond that
Oh,
could
boy.
be very good.
The spell is going to be renew.
Takes the
obviously.
renew immediately, looking for that heal to try to get out of range.
Oh,
Mind
boy.
control?
The next options offered, not very good. Mind Control might have been the best of the lot. Does have some application.
Definitely has a huge tilt factor.
Absolutely it does.
Might just mind control this brute.
And Starlax just trying to find a way to get power on the board to push some pressure. But he knows there's only 1 bomb left in deck, and Starlax keeps healing right out of range.
And that's going to be
Or
demoralizing.
Skittles keeps healing out of range, and yeah, why not? Just rip the mind control, get yourself the Blood Boil Brute from your opponent.
Starlax all of a sudden just in a really tough spot.
He's just holding armor gain and clears, and the random dragon, and 30 health, 17 armor, but probably not going to be relevant at the end of the day.
Galakron. Nice draw.
Really interesting to see if Skittles would ever play Murazond to get his own Galakron.
I feel like you don't want to lose the heal.
Losing the hero power probably spells certain death. But Galakron may be the way that Starlax wins this matchup and gets through. Definitely a really good inclusion specifically for Priest when you think about it.
Yeah.
Considering that just changes your don't kill them hero power into a hero power that can kill them.
And
unfortunate, I think Skittles missed an opportunity there with the 5/6 Sky Raider on board. He could have played Psyche Split and gotten a
I think he's just not
6/8
thinking about the spell that way.
instead of 2/4s, and still done the same Shadow Word Death play.
Oh boy. It's a lot of armor.
Starlax here with just ridiculous armor gain. And still pushing that damage. Face is the place. And a big pickup for Skittles there. He needs all the heal he can get. And yeah, that's going to be huge with the Murazond to get so much armor gain. Gonna deny some armor gain for Starlax first. Definitely the correct ordering of this here, and he goes from 10 health to 18, just like that.
28.
28, yeah.
Or yeah, sorry, 18 armor, 28 total.
Yeah.
You're right.
Starlax
Force
with
the
the
brawl.
Bronx pickup is nice. That's the one minion Starlax did not want to see live.
And yet even more armor. Might be crucial that he's clearing that minion rather than sending 3 more face, but given the life total, seems to matter quite a bit less.
Yeah.
And this game is starting to shift in Skittles' favor for sure.
If you look at cards in deck, Starlax down to 6.
And
Skittles still
Starlax
at 11.
probably really doesn't want to play that shield block.
I
If
don't
he
think he
doesn't
does.
play it now, he probably doesn't play it all game.
I wonder if it was ever right to play the Kronks there for an 8-8.
And now we have a battle of the hero power passes. Starlax seeing no reason to do anything but hero power pass again. Force Skittles to play a card.
Oh,
And Skittles finds a card that is playable.
finds the perfect card to play. He'll even play a second one just for good measure.
And a Grave Rune as well, so once this either survives the board or dies and spits out more of them, it's an excellent target for Apotheosis to get even more heal and try to get out of that range of losing this game. More hero power passes from Starlax. Running out of options. We see the Apotheosis played instantly, along with a second Psyche split. That's going to be another Apotheosis Grave-Runed Fate Weaver. That also has the buff from the Psyche split, and this is looking ugly for Starlax now.
Skipper Death Hand Plague will clear it, but
Has the ability to clear the first part.
yep.
Of the Fate Weavers, but that's still just going to spit out 4 3/6s and clear his own board.
And the worst part for Starlax is the Kronks 5 to everything doesn't even clear this. That's terrible.
Right, and now almost completely out of resources for the ability to do anything. Skittles, knowing that Galakron is still in hand and he has his own Kronks, has definitely more than enough of a power burst to come right back.
Definitely.
No reason to play the Kronks. Gonna wait until he draws that Galakron so that he gets the Kronks Devastation, which could be the difference.
I think just about any Kronks choice here could be good at some point.
And Starlax really wanted that weapon a little bit earlier when the bombs were still making a difference. At this point now, basically irrelevant with Priest's ability to continue to heal.
The only thing would be
Mind
maybe
Games pick up in this Priest list as well.
maybe some sort of miracle Dr. Bane for Starlax.
And yeah, just going to play the real Murazond. Already had a generated one. This gives him a bomb weapon. And with 2 cards left in Starlax's deck, that's going to be all but guaranteed that they get drawn almost immediately. I really don't see any way that Starlax wins the game from this position. Bladestorm can definitely clear up the Fate Weavers. A Kronks can kill the Murazond, and then what?
I think the Blade Storm would have been a little better before he took off all of your armor.
Yeah, and Blood Boil Brute, he's gonna trade the Brute into the Murazond as well, or is he gonna leave it up? So what power does he have left to push? Just an Alex and a Kronks? Meanwhile, anytime the board gets threatening for Skittles, he can Plague of Death. He has Soul Mirror. He has a Penance, a Kronks once he finally finds that Galakron. Mind Games, if there's any minions left, it's going to generate one, and nope, no minions left. So now he knows for sure, and we know Starlax is fully out of options. Gonna play the Alexstrasza, and I expect at this point we just see that get removed. A heal comes down, and Starlax should be done.
Yep.
What would we see here? A Soul Mirror? Do we ever Penance first just for the extra heal before Soul Mirror?
Feel like you might as well.
It's gonna go with an Evoke first. You never know what you find.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Natalie does great here, but I think
That's
it's
kind of
bait
risky.
because, yeah, this actually gives.
Oh, he's gonna penance his.
Okay, he's gonna play penance and still
I
gain
mean,
some health.
What Skittles still has one bomb left in his deck, right?
I think he does.
Starlax
but
technically has an out with Trunks for 5 and then Hero Power. That's an out he has that he wouldn't have had if Skittles would have just healed his face.
yeah,
there.
I think the Natalie was bait there.
I think it was.
Likely just needed to be. I mean, we can see Starlax's hand, so we have more information than Skittles does. But at the same time, you might just need to be thinking about the only way that you can lose at this point.
And like I feel like him having a
Starlax taking the out,
assumption.
and we'll see if it gets punished here. I believe there is one bomb.
Please, oh my god, please don't do this to him. Oh my god!
Wow.
Wow, there's the bomb.
Wow, what a play.
And that was, I mean, Starlax played exactly to the out that he had. Feels bad for Skittles there to have that 20% chance. But he missed an opportunity there by just playing the penance, the heal face, and the soul mirror. That gave him the clear and guaranteed there was really no way he could possibly lose.
Can we get trolled up in here again?
The Taunt Dragon, the Skeletal Dragon, and Holy Nova were the other cards in Skittles' deck. Healing, prevention, really just a brutal way to lose that game.
I think Donde was absolutely right when he said this is trolled in Central.
But very well played by Starlax.
Yeah.
Just never say die until the end.
Now Skittles is down to his Hunter.
And now Skittles is going to have to try to fight off some tilt here, down to
the Hunter.
His final class. The Demon Hunter was banned, correct? So Skittles has Druid left.
No, it's Hunter, right?
Skittles has Demon Hunter, Druid, Priest, Warrior.
Oh, all right.
He banned Starlax's
right.
Warrior. So Starlax still has a Mage remaining after this Warrior, if Skittles can find a win here. And on Skittles' side, this is the final one. So the Druid is going to have to be able to pick up a win against both a Warrior and a Mage. The Mage matchup in particular is very close to unfavored for Druid, I believe. But time to refocus. Skittles holding the cards that Druid wants to see. There's Ramp, there's Glowfly Swarm, and it is quite the favorable matchup against Warrior, although far less so against the bomb-oriented version.
Definitely.
Especially with the control elements that this Bomb Warrior runs, with the Brawls and the Blade Storms. I believe that even shifts it slightly into the Warrior's favor.
Will break your
God, I still can't believe Starlax pulled that out. That was incredible.
That was quite the series for sure. That game had some fireworks.
Yeah.
All right, and on Skittles' side, a decent amount of spells. This may just be the time that Glowfly has to come down because he has no other options. Alternatively, he holds it for the Soul of the Forest, which looks like means just a hero power pass again. And we'll all say goodnight to Sage. He may have had some connection issues.
Yeah.
I know it was getting kind of late for him anyway. But we definitely appreciate him sticking around and casting with us.
Oh, too bad Starlax doesn't have any Lackey generation.
Yeah, that's a crazy little witchy lackey combo there. He had one more. could have gone real crazy.
And this is going to be a wee bit annoying for Starlax. He does have the double skipper in hand, but I don't think he has enough minions to... Or no, I think he does.
With the Sky Raider, could be sufficient. I don't know if he's going necessarily that exact line to try to clear everything with double skipper. Maybe just looking for one.
Yeah, it would have felt really bad having to lose both skippers there.
And then we'd likely just see, the Sky Raider get dropped here, so he'll leave Skittles with a few minions on board. Because the Brute can trade, the Sky Raider's going to kill one more of these Treants, so he'll leave Skittles with 3 2-1s. Seems like a pretty reasonable outcome, especially with the ridiculous amount of armor gain that he just got there. And now Skittles running out of gas, not finding his refill cards. This is going to be a real challenge.
Yeah.
Debating on how the trades go, whether or not he uses an Iron Bark. Does he use a Moonfire? I think Moonfire seems very reasonable here.
I agree there.
Just going to clear all the minions from the board? No, he's pushing 6. But unless he finds a Mount Seller or Ysera or Overflow quite soon, this game is going to get away from Skittles, it looks like.
I think that's about
Starlax
the last card he wanted to find.
Yeah, second Moonfire off the top feels awful. You've got to feel bad for the position that Skittles is in at this point. This is looking like a lost game and a lost series unless a spectacular card comes off the top in the next turn and he buys some time before then.
Yeah, there's also a decent enough chance he's just dead to the Hench Clan Burglar. Starlax needs 5.
Yeah. And Skittles just using what he has now to try to keep some damage off. And this is exactly what you want to see as the warrior. That's one of the Savage Roars being used to not kill you. Quite a board left up. 1 card in hand for Skittles. Starlax has armor gain, resource generation, card draw, now a bomb generator with more face damage. This looks so over.
Yeah. I don't even know what Skittles could draw at this point. I guess a, Ysera that we can taunt up, and then... Where the Expedition? Ancient of War?
Well, that's something. He's
Keeps
not
him
dead
alive.
yet. Definitely doing all he can to keep his head above water. We can see that a brawl might just end the game here with that draw off the top. Starlax doesn't want to rip it yet. I think the game is trying to tell Starlax something here. Play the brawl.
That's what I was just thinking. Gonna trade.
He's gonna hold off for now.
Interesting.
Takes the chance that these go face.
Interesting. He didn't want to just use the burglar there to find something.
Very interesting. I guess now he might use the burglar. I
would have played that first and maybe found a silence or something. Or a shadow.
Curious sequence of events here at the end. A twin slice.
Oh my god.
It seems like every time Starlax plays a card that lets him discover, oh wow, and that is the card.
I mean, this is a
needed to see. Now he needs to follow with an overflow off the top.
I mean, Starlax can take it just a 50-50 with the brawl
In
here to win
fairness,
the game.
yeah, he could. Well, he could also just hit and blade storm, which looks like he wants to do. Because with double twin slice, that's one-off lethal.
I mean, like, I kind of like using the brawl there, just so you have a 50-50 to win the game, and then if you miss, you can just do this play anyways.
Interesting that he holds back the second slice, not wanting to put him to 1.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Portal.
And now we'll see what RNG has in store.
Oh, the Fungal Fortunes.
A Fungal Fortunes could draw a bomb, though, which ends the game. Not that he has a choice to do anything other than that.
No. Oh, there it is.
And complete with the emote. And that puts Skittles out of his misery here. That's going to end this game. And Starlax with a big 3-1 victory, picking up a huge, much-needed win for Dad Legend, and just really showing the strength of Warrior. Both players taking some real chances by leaving Warrior up, and as it turns out, Warrior is the only class that actually won a game.
Yeah. So, there you go, C-Mac.
And yep, clearly a good class for all the rest of you out there who are watching. Still makes a whole lot of sense to ban Warrior, but extremely well played by Starlax. Very well played in multiple spots by Skittles as well. You know, the bombs got the better of him clearly, especially in that Priest match with a very brutal 20% on an otherwise likely victory. But Starlax playing to his outs, playing very well, and controlled the action throughout for a solid win for his team.
He did. I'm working on getting him in for an interview.
Yeah,
right
any
now.
chance we can get him on an interview? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm adding him as a friend right now. As soon as he adds me as a friend. So yeah, Skittles ended up getting hard punished by that Natalie play, and that ended up being the difference.
Yeah, that Natalie generation was very unfortunate. He probably was down to no other options but, you know, go for the penance and heal play, and then just thinking, oh well, this pushes lethal damage. But yeah, Starlax, he had just one line and one real out to pursue, and he was able to pursue it and get a solid win.
All right.
I'm very curious to hear his thoughts on some of these decisions in the end.
Well, here he is right now. Hello, Starlax.
Hey, welcome, Starlax. Congratulations.
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Perfect.
So that was quite the impressive win, especially in that Priest versus Warrior game where you were down to basically one out and it hit.
Well, I did the counting there and I figured, well, there's 2 bombs, 5 cards. I'll give myself 2 chances to swing for the fences and hopefully win and hit one. That was hockey. That was hockey's tech right there, the Galakron and the Kronks in the Bomb Warrior for that exact matchup.
It really paid off because it looked like you otherwise would have had essentially 0 chance to win that game with the Priest doing what it does and stabilizing. But that I thought you played it exceptionally well. You played right to the outs that were there in front of you, and it paid off.
Sometimes, you know, I'm getting a little lucky compared to a few games last week, but you know that's Hearthstone for you. The ebbs and flows.
Yeah, and we saw that Warrior just won every match. You know, the only time Warrior lost was when Warrior played Warrior.
And you know, everyone keeps saying that Warriors has gone down a little bit, but I think it's just the mercenary charge things into people's faces is now kind of adapted with the the onslaught of how fast Demon Hunter is and even Hunter right now. So I was looking at a few of the more controlling Bomb Warrior list, and then Hockey and I were talking today, and we decided let's throw this Galakron in there, and let's throw the Kronks to just give us, because my 3 damage hero power out heroes powers the priest. That was the plan.
Right. Yeah. Of course, we saw that the Demon Hunter versus Warrior went right as the matchup usually goes. Right. You had a chance for some burst and almost got there, and then the Warrior just gained ridiculous armor, and it was all over. And then that very same thing happened in the Warrior Mirror when you went down to about 5 health and then immediately gained about 24 armor.
Yeah, does that look familiar to another game you played there, Ron?
I was getting flashbacks. I didn't include it in the broadcast, but yeah, it was hauntingly familiar to the game that we played, where you picked up a victory the same way. Very nicely done.
No, it's been yeah, I haven't been having a lot of fun on ladder, but it's these type of matches are always fun. I felt like there was a lot of decision making on both our games. Like, it didn't really matter who was playing. It wasn't as straightforward. I 1 mana card into 2 mana card into 3 mana card into 4 mana card into dead. So this was kind of a treat for Hearthstone right now compared to what we're normally seeing.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see that series of matches. The Druid versus Warrior was a little ugly to watch, just because Skittles kind of didn't really find any of the refill that Druid is looking for, and once you kind of took the board control away from him after the Glowfly sold the forest play, there really wasn't anything he could do. So series seemed to go out a little bit on a whimper there, but you played it right. I think that match is actually slightly favored for the Control Bomb Warrior anyway, and just really showing its strength. And in the hands of a capable player such as yourself, a really big victory for Dad Legend, bouncing back quite well after a rough week last week.
Yeah, I think we all did not play Hearthstone after our matches last week, except for maybe Turd, because he's the only one who won. We were all just kind of up in arms over everything. It didn't matter what happened. Sometimes it takes a reset, just to get your headspace right and to come back and find the lines again.
Definitely.
It's a very swingy meta, so it definitely takes a toll on everybody, if you're playing well or not.
So I did have another question for you here. I thought that it would be very likely on your side, having Mage in your lineup, having Demon Hunter, possibly anticipating a Warrior ban from Skittles' side. But regardless, just thinking that Warrior could be quite strong against your lineup. What made you decide to ban the Demon Hunter on Skittles' side instead of the Warrior?
So the before today, my last 5 games were against Demon Hunter with decks that were favored against Demon Hunter, and I went 0-5.
That is a very reasonable consideration right there. If you're struggling against something, get it out of here.
I can dig it. 3 games. I had 3 games where my opponent had 0 things on board and ended up doing 17 plus damage to win the game with 4 cards in hand.
And you almost did the same thing to Skittles in your Demon Hunter versus Warrior match by sending 15 damage face in a single turn?
Yep. So I figured, against Mage, it's not, unless you can get the freeze down early, it's a really bad matchup. Even against Warrior, if you don't have the Armor Smith and a Skipper early on, or a Armor Smith and a Blade Storm, some sort of combo to clear the board and gain health, you can just lose by turn 5 or 6.
Oh yeah,
they're just so
that
fast.
matchup is frequently decided. Draw these important cards or die.
And I felt more comfortable. Mage has always been one of Isocles is a super strong Mage player, so I play a lot. Talk with him, play a lot with it, and I've been honestly, my win rate against even Bomb Warrior with Mage is pretty good. You just kind of have to learn some of the ins and outs of what to do and where to where to play. But unless the warrior has the nuts, it's much closer than what the stats say. There's just a lot of people. Highlander Mage isn't the easiest deck to play properly, so there's a lot of mistakes here and there with what's being done.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we were maybe hoping a little bit to see something other than your warrior get played, but you played it to perfection and didn't need to queue up any other classes, so kudos to you.
Yeah,
Thank you. That was,
Do you have any last comments, shout-outs, anything that you want to say to your team or otherwise?
No, this is a big week for us. And NoProsHere, they're one of the top teams in the league. So we've had, we struggled last week. I think in our losses, it's been just abysmal for us, and then we kind of like just stomp other teams. So hopefully we can get back on a roll here. They're ahead of us. We're in the playoff hunt. So we just gotta win this, and there's 3 more weeks left. Is this week 2 more? Win these 3 weeks and we're in easy, right? We won.
Yeah.
we won what, like 10 of 11 weeks last year? We can do it. It's not a big deal, right?
Yeah. And
right. Well, hey, it's crunch time, and you're coming up in the clutch here, so that's good.
Yeah, you definitely started off the correct way.
We did. So it'll be fun. These guys are great. I've enjoyed playing with this team. Yellow Dart and I go way back. It's just been fun making it work for over the past, I think, 3 or 4 seasons across both leagues that we've played on. And then we played back in the early days of THL, we played on a couple teams together. And then Isocles is always out there trying to help coach people up. Hockey is given this ridiculous tech that I'm like, why are you telling me to do this? I trust you, and it works. And there's Turd, who's just kind of our, he's a sponge. He's picking up a lot of like great things, and even giving pretty good insight for everything. So it's a good group of guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, you already proved the caliber of the players on your team with a pretty dominant season and championship last season. So for anybody out there who was wanting to count out Dad Legend after the loss to Young Guns, this was a good first step to say, hey, pump the brakes on that take here. This team isn't going anywhere.
That's that's what we want to do. We want to send that message to everybody.
Well, we really appreciate you being on stream, playing so late. This is real exciting to get to cast a doubleheader.
Yeah, it was.
And very, very thrilled to have you on, and hope we can maybe cast some more of your matches in the future.
No, I look forward. It's always fun being on stream, and you guys do a great job casting. I always go back and watch the VODs, and it's always fun.
Awesome,
so
man. We appreciate
the time
that.
and effort you guys put into it.
Thank you. All right, well, yeah, thanks for joining us, and thanks for playing on stream.
All right, you guys have a great night. Thank you.
You too.
You as well. Take care, Starlax. Congrats again.
Thank you.
All right, so
right.
that should just about wrap us up. Thank you, everybody who tuned in for our 3-hour block of Hearthstone talk and matches.
Yeah.
This is a good time. We probably won't have the stamina to go through a double header on every Tuesday night bar fights that we get to cast, but we're always up for more hero matches on stream. So for those of you out there who want to get some matches going, especially next week and the week after as the playoff race continues to heat up, let us know. Send us messages and DMs, talk to Sage, Ted, or myself, reach out to Donde. There's so many people that you can talk to, and we'd be more than happy to get some matches on stream and feature some things.
Definitely, and I just would like to shout out our other shows very quick before we log out. Tomorrow night, of course, we have Hearth Center with Donde, Lotus Knight, and Mako. Thursday, we have Tavern Talk with Dusharmo, Dano. Wait, or no, sorry, it's Dusharmo. It's you again, right, this week?
Brushy Tuna, the villain himself, is
Oh.
going to be hosting Tavern Talk. I will actually be guesting. They talked me into it again, but I think Brushy Tuna is going to take the lead here, and then it'll be still Desharmo, JR, and myself on the show as we talk about the final week of the Legacy regular season on Thursday.
I mean, listen, I never want to discourage people from watching THO content, but if Brushy's going to be there, no, I'm kidding. Kidding, of course. Definitely tune into that. And then, of course, Friday night, we have Friday night fights with Saku and whatever ensemble he pulls together. Saturday, we have Salty Saturday with Don Dandana. Sunday, we have Sunday Night Showdown, once again with Saku and whatever ensemble he pulls together. And one of those afternoons, we will have either Saturday or Sunday School Stone. Be sure you keep your eyes posted or keep looking at the Discord to see when those matches will be. And of course, that brings us back to the beginning of the week when we have Wild and Out with Mike V, Marty Berdua, and Lefty. And that'll be their final show. So definitely big.
Yeah, we're getting to championship time for the Wild Series. Yeah. So always exciting to tune in. At the start of next week on Monday, we should have some great stuff there.
Yeah. So, that just about does it. I would like to thank all of our players for playing on stream. Thank you and Sage for agreeing to do this marathon with me, and thank Disco once again for joining us on Saloon tonight.
Absolutely. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you all have a great night.
See you guys tomorrow.